Yeah. I said, Father, please forgive me. I was in and out the streets. When I went to battle, Doocy right there in my sneaks. Like the smart carver, bringing knowledge from a sea.
What's good? This is the Trsknetwork. This is Kaiser Chips. Today I have with me my two guests, Miss Lady J and Franchay.
What up, what up, what up? Hey.
Today we're going to be talking about a great topic. It's going to be about constructive criticism versus hating on someone. I'm just going to give a small example, or basically just, a small something to just basically let people know what I'm talking about. And what I mean by that is that there's a fine line between being a hater and being a person that's just giving constructive criticism. So say someone, let's say someone runs like 100 miles or something like that, right? And you tell them, yo, that's a great job. I know you could probably run 120 miles if you work a little harder. You know what I'm saying? And they get mad at you and they're like, oh, you're just a hater because you can never run 100 miles or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're talking about. That wouldn't be a hater. That would be considered constructive criticism, because at the end of the day, you gave them their props and you're trying to show them that they could always do a little better. So we're not talking about the examples of those things. We're talking about, just watching somebody do something, or watching somebody celebrate something, or watching somebody grow and just not having no love for them at all. You know what I'm saying? So would one of y'all like to jump in?
So I believe that constructive criticism is to help someone when like you said, when you see them doing better, and then hating on them is just trying to tear them down, acting like you can do better than them, and nobody's better than you and stuff like that. I was on YouTube the other day, and it's this I believe what I guess you would call her an influencer, and she just does a lot of the same dances all the time, but people are like hating on her so bad. It's sad. They're like, oh, but her teeth, and oh, she always doing the same thing. Oh, instead of actually giving her constructive criticism, like, oh, it'd be better if you liven up your content more or stuff like that, instead of just trying to tear her down. Like, what her teeth got to do with her content? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. So you feel like when you basically that would be considered tearing someone down if they have nothing good to say. They're just basically, not even saying, it would be a lot better if you change your dances or something like that, mm-hmm. Or, giving her, some type of way to improve herself, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like that's a good example of, of someone.
But not all constructive criticism is cookie cutter. Or what, like, people don't always deliver it the same way. So I could tell you, maybe you can do this and that's a little different, or I could be like, well, what you just did was fine. Or if I didn't like it at all, why can't I be like, oh, that was...
Well,
it wasn't good. I didn't like it. Why don't you try this? Some people take that shit like you're cutting them down too. So that can be considered hating, when it's really, I'm just telling you, like, look, I didn't like this, but try this.
Yeah. It's all dependent on people's interpretation of things as well. Because you never know what someone's thinking. So I guess you just...
Yeah, I understand that, because a lot of people definitely do take what you say to them and they switch it up and they take it to the heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every song, if you're an artist or a musician or whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, in any craft or even a business, just business period, you're gonna find people that are gonna, either try to tear you down or tear you down to rebuild you back up. You just have to learn who is trying to tear you down for their benefit and who's trying to tear you down for your benefit. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around with your eyes closed thinking that all criticism is bad criticism, because then you'll never build as a character. A lot of us take a lot of criticism to the heart, and I'm one to say I've definitely taken some criticism to the heart before. And but now as I grow, I try to take all criticism and take what's good out of it, even though, and it's the delivery, and sometimes it is the messenger. Sometimes you might look at somebody that you look up to, and you would take that criticism and build yourself, but then you would see somebody who you might not look up to, or you might not feel is on the same level as you, and you would take in that same criticism, you would look as hate. You know, so we have to learn the difference between the two.
Yeah, it all depends on where a message is being delivered from.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like I feel like the listeners would definitely that's just fruitful mind for the listeners out there, to just be mindful of what you consider hating and what you consider constructive criticism.